life coach Brooke Booth from brookeboothcoaching.com. I'm going to talk about disconnection and not taking things so personally in your mixed faith marriage, because I coach Mormons in mixed faith marriages due to faith transition, and sometimes we take things personally, all relationships. So, a little story time here. We had a week, and we were just off. Like something was off, disconnected all week. And this is the story I was telling myself. This is what I made it mean. Pretty sure he hates me, not happy with this marriage. I was positive he was upset, and it had to do with the fact that we were in a mixed faith marriage. This is where my brain was going all week. And it just created more disconnection and more disconnection. Eventually, I decided to be brave. I opened a conversation and I asked to talk. It went poorly. We were both defensive. We were both short. We were both frustrated. I would turn around and walk away. And then I would turn around and come back, both physically and symbolically. Like it was just like 3 different times. I'm like, done. And I'm like, I'm not done. I'm committed. I'm brave. Turning around and going back. And I did it over and over. And I'm like, and so I asked more questions. I leaned in. I listened. I decided not to be deterred. Turns out, like he opened up to me, and it turns out he was frustrated, but nothing to do with me. Nothing. We have this house project. It's huge. Full house remodel. He's frustrated about that. I spent a full week, and creating more disconnection and more distance, because for a full week I was taking his frustration personally, and I was making it be all about me, and then I was frustrated, and then I was acting from frustration, and then compound effect, right? It wasn't about me. I'd been telling myself a lie all week. I thought it was. That was just where my brain went. Oh, he's frustrated. It must be my fault. It's because me, my mixed faith marriage, my faith transition, blah, blah, blah. Right? Familiar? Maybe you do this. Here's the part that gets me every time. Like every time. I had to really walk into discomfort to get to connection. So often this is the case. I had to be willing to lean in, to ask questions, to keep turning around and coming back, to listen and to let go of my defensiveness over and over and over. Oftentimes the conversations that are the most uncomfortable end in the best place. I've thought about this since then. It's been a few weeks and I've been thinking about it a lot. Like this idea of 2 main points here. One is when we take responsibility for another's emotions, for our spouse's emotions. Like here I was taking responsibility for his frustration. I was making it mean it was about me. I was taking it personally, thinking it was my problem and I need to fix it. And then I was feeling terrible about that. That was my first problem here, is when we try to take control and responsibility for others' emotions, we make it mean it's our fault. We make it mean we're responsible. We make it mean we're the problem. Now we have 2 frustrated people, right? Now we have 2 people feeding into the disconnection. When we take responsibility for others' emotions, it doesn't work because we can't. Only they can take responsibility for their emotions, and only I can take responsibility for my emotions. The other big point I learned from all of this is it's worth leaning in, going through the discomfort over and over, turning back towards the conversation over and over and over, to lean into discomfort before I could get to connection. Those are my 2 big takeaways. This is probably going to happen to you or has happened to you, and I want to share this with you. I'm not responsible for their emotions. Like I don't need to believe the lie I was telling myself all week. And then sometimes when we do get ourselves in these situations, there's some discomfort in leaning into the conversation and really finding out and listening and understanding what's really going on. huge skills for any mixed faith marriage. If you need help developing these skills, if you're like, that sounds great, Brooke, but how? Reach out to me, message me, and let's set up a time for a free consult. We can talk about your mixed faith marriage. We can talk about how maybe you're trying to take responsibility for your spouse's emotions, or maybe where you need to really develop the ability to feel some discomfort so you can keep reaching out so the conversations that need to be had can be had. Two huge skill sets. All right, if you need help, get a coach, somebody who can help you work through these things, because your marriage is totally worth it. Then we got through the bumpy week. Things got back to normal. Things got great. They always pass. We have bumpy weeks. Things pass. Then we learn the lessons, and next time we do better. This is what life and relationships and marriage is all about. And this is what I teach a lot of in my coaching. Let's learn the lessons. Let's apply them. And next time, let's be gentle with ourselves, learn and move on and do better. All right. Wishing you the best.